Hey guys, told you the other day that I was going to tell you what my spiritual experience was. Most spiritual experience I've ever had. I had it with a guy um, that helped me expel something that has been following me around since I was 6 years old. It scares the crap out of me, honestly. But I've learned something since then. When I was around 6 years old, um, I was living in this house, and for 6 weeks, I kid you not, guys, 6 weeks, I would look into my closet and I would see these three eyes: red, yellow, and green. So, and they were in a triangle. Well, every day for those 6 weeks, they would multiply by three until they eliminated my room. I could see the floor, I could see the pictures on my wall, I could see the ceiling, I could see the reflection on the windows. They were all over the place. It was as if a nightlight was on. So after that, this thing started coming out of the closet. It started with the claws. They were hooked like this, and they were just on the outside. Um, After that, I seen the antlers. They were elk antlers. Huge, huge antlers. And then the eyes got bigger, and I seen the forehead. After that, it was as if it was like a great big, long pig snout, almost, but in the shape of a moose's mouth, and the saber-toothed teeth from the front going up and down, and then the jagged teeth all the way back. The next thing I noticed was the great big pointy bat's ears. And then the body. The body was just hairy, but you could see the rib cage. You could see the bone. You could see the yellow on the bone. And then the legs. They were like wolves' legs. And the thing I noticed about the wolves' legs is that they had the raptor's protruding claw. A great big claw that they have, as well as the back claw. This thing tormented me for years and years and years and years and years. I eventually had a very bad dream of it where it was over top of me and it jumped on my bed and on top of me. And it brought me to hell, guys. Um, I was in this place that was just on fire everywhere. Everywhere was on fire. The heat was just unbearable. I could feel all of this. And the smoke. I was gasping for air everywhere I went, everywhere I looked, gasping for air. And then I could see something off into the distance that looked vaguely like a person. And I got closer and closer to this thing. And so, as soon as I got up next to where I could see it, um, it turned around and the roar that came out of it was like 1,000 drowning animals all at once. And the roar pushed me back. And all of a sudden, I was chained to this rock, this great big rock. And the next thing you know, I'm being slashed by these claws. And then I just didn't feel anything. I couldn't feel anything. I felt the claws. I felt the scratches, the gouges in my skin. And then I woke up. I was under my bed. I was under it. And it was as if I never moved my bed sheets. So anyways, back to the story that I'm trying to say here. I witnessed the Wendigo. It took me to hell, and for some odd reason it let me live. And so I met this guy at a powwow, and I told him about it, and he said, bring it on. He wanted to challenge it. And so we did. We went around a sacred fire, and we had 2 eagle feathers. And it bent those eagle feathers. The eagle feathers bent. And that's when this guy kind of stepped in and said, let's do this. So we went into this trail. It was 10:30 at night. Had to have been around then. It was in the summertime. And so this Wendigo sat right next to me, looking straight at me. And he seen it. He said it kept looking back at him too. And he started talking. Started expelling it. Well, when he started doing that, the trees and the ground, they all started to glow this bluey green. It was like dots everywhere. It was like the stars fell on us. And the chills that were going up and down my spine, all the way down to my toes, to the top of my hair. Had to have been the most spiritual thing that I'd ever been through. And he battled it for 2.5 years apparently after that. And it was very hard on him, but it helped him in ways, I guess, from what he's told me. He's the only one that's ever wanted to try and touch this. From what I'm told by other elders that I've spoken to over the years about this, is that this one is one of the very first that were ever created. Ever. So, why didn't it take me? Well, here's the reason. My cousin is dating this firekeeper, and he has extensive knowledge about natives and stuff. And so I went to talk to him, and he said it sounds like I'm Wendigo Con. Now what that means, at least from what I gather, is that the Wendigo seen something in me that is close to as equal as itself. And so it's here to warn me about things that are about to happen, about things that are coming. It's not here to take my life. It's here to save my life. It's showed me a lot of things over the years since I've learned about the Wendigo, to be honest. It's taught me who I am. It's put me on the right road, right path. it's just great. I don't know how seeing a Wendigo and living through that is great. But I am a much better person than I was. So that is my most spiritual experience that I have ever been through. Those lights that we seen in the bush and that path, you could see all the way down the path, all the way down it, until the trees kind of took over. Little stars almost on the ground, on the leaves, on the trees, on us, everywhere. So that's my experience. What's yours?